Bat and the Waiting Game, Chapter 9, Bowls. Bat had never eaten a bowl of cereal without milk before, but Israel poured half the box into a big gray and pink bowl and then poured a bunch of pistachios into a slightly smaller green bowl with swirly blue curlicues all over it. Then he put away the cereal box and the bag of pistachios, told Bat, grabbed the chocolate bar, and headed out into the backyard. Bat, chocolate bar in hand, followed him. Wow, he said, standing in the doorway looking into the yard. Israel had placed the two fancy bowls full of snacks on a table underneath a big shade tree. But that was the least interesting thing happening in the yard. Bat counted 11 pinwheels, wind spinners, planted in the garden beds all around the yard. Some had bits of colored glass suspended in webs of metal. Others were all metal, but a mix of copper and silver. Big, bright glass orbs were tucked everywhere. Glints of shiny color under the tree lined the path where the yard that ended at a garden shed. The shade tree's branches were heavy with the stained glass ornaments and wind chimes that filled the air with silvery trinkets and deep, vibrating clangs. There was so much to see and hear that Bat felt caught between it all. The colors, the sounds, the newness of everything. Suddenly, despite the beauty and excitement of Israel's amazing backyard, Bat wished desperately that he were home. Hey, Israel said, are you okay? Bat felt himself bouncing on the balls of his feet, and he knew his eyes were full of tears. He still clutched the chocolate bar in his hand. Sort of, not really, he said. Israel scratched his head. Come on, he said, taking the chocolate bar from Bat and setting it on the table. I'll introduce you to my mom. But instead of leading Bat into the house, Israel walked through the garden to the shed. As they crossed the yard, Bat took deep, calming breaths and wiped his eyes. The shed door were open, and he got closer. Bat saw that it wasn't just a place to store shovels and rakes. Hey, Mom, said Israel. You're home, came a voice from inside the shed. Is your friend with you? Yep, said Israel. Bat, come say hi to my mom. Bat peered into the shed. Israel's mom was in there, surrounded by shelves full of bowls and cups and plates and pots. Some glazed in bright colors, others the flat gray of unfinished clay. She was sitting behind a potter's wheel, a lump of wet clay in her hands. Splatters of clay decorated her arms and her overalls. Hi, Bat, she said. I'm Cora. Hello, said Bat. What are you doing? I'm making a bowl, Cora said. Do you want to try? Bat shook his head. I don't like slimy things, he said, or sticky things. He looked around at all the shelves and all the things upon them. Did you make all this stuff? Most of it, Cora said. Over there is Israel's work. The shelf she pointed to was filled with lumps of clay that looked a lot like the lump of clay Israel had made for Bat, which Bat had right then tucked into the pocket of his vest. Mom's stuff is better than mine, Israel said. She's a professional artist. I'm just starting out. Bat looked back and forth between the pottery Cora had made and the awkward lumps clay Israel had made. Yes, he said, your mom's stuff is way better. Israel crossed his arms across his chest. Bat felt his stomach rumble and said, I think I'm ready for that snack now. And that is the end of Chapter 9 of Bat and the Waiting Game. If you like my channel, you can like and subscribe below.